Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to Global Atheist News, our weekly report on how religion has impacted humanity over the last 7 days. This week's headlines. The Taliban leader makes his first visit to Kabul, the capital city of Afghanistan. The Taliban arrests an Afghani YouTuber for insulting Islam and the Quran. USA President Biden says women traveling for abortions will be protected. Dozens of Nigerians awaiting the second coming are freed from a church in Ondo. Queensland police arrest 12 members of a religious group over the death of an 8-year-old. A Palestinian Islamic scholar says homosexuals should be thrown headfirst off rooftops. Lauren Boebert says Trump was prayed into office by millions of Americans. The Rationalist Society of Australia calls for the replacement of parliamentary prayer rituals. A bakery is threatened with court over a blasphemous sandwich. Christian hate preacher Greg Locke claims to have been chosen by God. The Taliban's secretive leader, Mullah Hibatullah Akhundzada, has made his first visit to the Afghan capital, Kabul. Mullah Hibatullah addressed a large gathering of around 3,000 religious scholars convened to discuss issues of national unity. No women and no independent journalists were allowed to attend the gathering, which took place amid tight security. Audio of his speech was broadcast, but no video or photographs of Mullah Hibatullah have been published. In his speech, Mullah Hibatullah praised the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan last year as not only a source of pride for Afghans, but also for Muslims all over the world. Thank God we are now an independent country. Foreigners should not give us their orders. It is our system and we have our own decisions, he said, according to the state-run Bakhtar news agency. We have a relationship of devotion to one God, and we cannot accept the orders of others who God does not like. So far, there has been no significant discussion on girls' education, and girls' secondary schools remain closed in most of the country. Another senior Taliban figure earlier said, "The women are our mothers and sisters. We respect them a lot. And when their sons are in the gathering, it means they are also involved in a way in the gathering." Ajmal Hakiki, a famous Afghan fashion model and YouTuber, and his colleagues were arrested for allegedly disrespecting Islam and Afghan culture in a recent video. See it here.
Ajmal Hakiki, a famous Afghan fashion model and YouTuber, and his colleagues were arrested for allegedly, quote, disrespecting Islam and Afghan culture in a recent video. The witty and cheerful fashionista is known for showcasing his funny and entertaining takes on ethnic Afghani fashion and lifestyle in his videos. In a widely circulated video, Hakiki is seen laughing as his protege, Ghulam Sakhi uses his speech impairment for comedic effect while reciting verses of the Quran. That video was deleted on June 5th and replaced with an apology, but it failed to satisfy the Taliban. 2 days later, Hakiki appeared distraught as he was held captive in 2 short videos released by the Afghan General Directorate of Intelligence, or GDI. Hakiki was made to apologize in one of the videos. On June 8th, responding to the arrests, a statement was released by Amnesty International demanding the release of Hakiki and his colleagues. Since August 2021, the Taliban has detained numerous individuals without trial and coerced them into making forced statements to suppress criticism in the country and prevent others from voicing their opinions.
US President Joe Biden has said that women traveling for abortions will be protected by the federal government. Speaking at a virtual meeting with Democratic state governors, Mr. Biden said he believed some US states would attempt to arrest women who cross state lines for abortion access. I don't think people believe that's going to happen, but it is going to happen, he said. The president added that the government would ensure access to pills that cause abortion in states where it was prohibited. But such federal government intervention may lead to more legal challenges that may go all the way to the Supreme Court. Police rescued 26 children, 8 teenagers, and 43 adults from a church where they were confined in the southwestern state of Ondo, Nigeria. Some of them are believed to have been there for months. Police say they are investigating suspected mass abduction after the raid on the Whole Bible Believers Church in the Valentino area of Ondo town. A police spokesperson said many of them had been told to expect the second coming of Jesus Christ in April and had abandoned school to witness the event. The raid came after a mother complained that her children were missing and she thought they were in the church. The pastor of the Pentecostal church, David Anifowashi, and his deputy have been arrested, while the victims have been taken into the care of the authorities. Pastor Josiah Peter Asumosa, an assistant pastor in the church, was the one who told the members that rapture will take place in April, but later said it has been changed to September 2022 and told the young members to obey only their parents in the Lord, said police press officer Funmileya Odunlami. The second coming is a Christian belief in the return of Jesus Christ after his biblical ascension to heaven, and rapture is the idea that Christian believers will be taken to heaven at the second coming. 8-year-old Elizabeth Rose Strews had type 1 diabetes and died in her family's Rangeville home west of Brisbane on the 7th of January. Police allege that her parents, who have previously been charged with murder, began withholding insulin 6 days earlier. 12 members of a religious group in nearby Toowoomba have been arrested after the death of the girl, who Queensland police say was allegedly denied life-saving medication in the belief that she would be healed by God. Police allege paramedics were not called to the scene until 5:30 p.m. the next day, reporting that members of the church group believed she would be resurrected. The girl's parents, Kerry Elizabeth Strews and Jason Richard Strews, were charged with murder and torture offences earlier this year. They have not yet entered pleas and will remain in custody until their next hearing at the Toowoomba Magistrates Court due later this month. They are also charged with failing to provide the necessities of life. Police allege others also bear culpability in Elizabeth's death. Sheikh Yousef Aby Islam calls for homosexuals to be thrown off rooftops and stoned. See this video.
ولكن عندما قرر العقوبة على اللواطيين وليس على اللوطيين، على اللواطيين، العقوبة قال أن يلقى وينكس على رأسه من أعلى بناية ثم يرجم من فوق بالحجارة. إذا لم نقف وقفة واحدة في وجه هذا المنكر العظيم فانتظروا سيدنا يريدنا جبريل أن يقتلع 7 مدن من جذورها ويرتفع بها إلى السماء ثم يقلبها إلى الأرض ويأتي بعدها الرجم بالحجارة.
After making a speech at a recent Trump rally in Illinois, where she told the crowd that God anointed Donald Trump to become president, Representative Lauren Boebert, Republican, Colorado, spoke to Real America's Voice about the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe versus Wade, arguing that former President Donald Trump was prayed into office by millions of Americans, supposedly so he could stack the Supreme Court with right-wing zealots who would then end federal abortion rights. Meredith Doig, president of the Rationalist Society of Australia, says, replace Parliament prayer rituals.
There's a real desire all across Australia to have our national parliament modernise and become a much more inclusive place. Now, with just a few weeks to go before Parliament returns, there's a real opportunity for us to send a message to our politicians, including our new politicians, about the practice of reciting prayers before Parliament. Australia, as we know, is made up of a diversity of peoples. We have more non-religious peoples, and we know that at least half of us are either born overseas or have at least one parent who's born overseas. So why is it that our House of Representatives and our Senate continue this practice of reciting a Christian-only prayer before their proceedings each day?
Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to vouchsafe thy blessing upon this Parliament. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread.
Now, in 2018, there was a Senate inquiry into whether or not to continue prayers as part of the Senate proceedings, and ultimately they decided that there was, and I quote, no momentum for change. So it's up to us to build that momentum for change, which is why I've just launched a petition calling on the Parliament to replace the Christian prayer ritual with something which is much more inclusive, even just a brief period of silent reflection. If you agree that our most important institution of democracy, our national Parliament, should be welcoming of all Australians and shouldn't impose the ritual of a particular religion, then I urge you to sign this petition and share it with your friends and family and on your social media. Together, let's build this momentum for change. If we don't do it, nothing will change.
An attack on a Derbyshire cafe triggered by a sandwich dubbed an insult to Christianity has been met with disbelief, surprise, bafflement, and outrage. The Bridge Bakehouse came under fire for its £4 cheese sandwich, playfully labelled Jesus Christ. It was threatened with a dubious legal letter and had its sign vandalised by unknown parties. Hundreds have leapt to the defence of the Whaley Bridge Eatery in the Derbyshire Peak District. One reader commenting on the story said, "I regard myself as a Christian. The most offensive thing about this story is charging £4 for a cheese sandwich." In fairness, the blasphemous £4 Jesus Christ sandwich does feature a number of ingredients to justify the price tag, namely caramelized onion, onion chutney, mature cheddar, and mozzarella. The debate, which has attracted thousands of people, centers around whether people are right to be offended at this type of wordplay. A few suggested that the legal letter threatening the Bridge Bakehouse itself was a joke. Although it was quite carefully put together, it does not appear to have been produced by anyone with professional knowledge of the law. It came from a religious organization called Christian Concern, which appears to be fake. Other theories about the provenance of the letter include suggestions it was disgruntled Whaley Bridge parishioners, US religious zealots, or simply jokers with too much time on their hands. The blasphemous sandwich sits on the menu alongside treats such as "Don't go bacon my heart," "Are you chicken me out?" and "Get your goat, you've pulled." And Christian hate preacher Greg Locke is special, according to this video.
Am I always right? No. Do I make bad decisions? Yes. But I'm going to tell you something about leadership. God will bless a bad decision by me more than a good decision by you, because he called me to be the shepherd, not you. And that's just the way the thing rolls in the Bible.
Following last week's very enjoyable show with Dr. Tim Miller on computing, do watch that if you can. This week's Free Thought Hour guest is anthropologist Dr. David Orenstein. You can join in by texting your comments and questions. It's live. Don't forget to watch Global Atheist News Review, our spin-off show where a panel of opinionated people get a chance to express their views on this very news. The GAN team will be back with our weekly news report next week. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and set the notifications. This has been Global Atheist News. Thank you for watching.